mynews.studio.
There's news out of Antarctica. The ozone hole closed earlier than expected this year. Meanwhile, on the Great Barrier Reef, tiny coral larvae are getting another shot at life. What's actually behind these surprising recoveries for the planet?
Today's date is December 6th, 2025. Let's start with the ozone layer. This year, the Antarctic ozone hole was the smallest and lasted the shortest time since 2019. That's largely because of the Montreal Protocol, isn't it?
That's right. The Montreal Protocol got rid of substances like CFCs that were damaging the ozone. What's remarkable is how quickly the atmosphere is reacting. Instead of just future predictions, scientists are now seeing real, measurable progress.
But why did the protocol succeed when so many other international agreements hit roadblocks?
Enforceable controls made the difference. Countries agreed to strict timelines for phasing out those chemicals, and there was financial support for developing countries to help with the transition. Plus, regular scientific reviews kept everyone accountable. Do you think a similar approach, backed by funding and enforcement, could help with climate agreements now?
It does seem necessary. If we look at coral reefs, the research is moving quickly, but without money and coordination, these new techniques struggle to expand. The larval seed box, how does that actually work?
The seed box holds coral larvae above damaged reefs and slows down their dispersal. It acts like a nursery, but it's tailored for the local water movement, coral species, and even the type of seafloor. The idea is to keep the larvae in place long enough for them to attach and develop. But why not just release the larvae as usual?
Because most would get swept away or eaten, right? By concentrating them, you give them a better shot. But scaling this method, are there downsides?
There are definitely trade-offs. Every reef is different. Currents, species, local conditions. So the technology needs to be tailored, which makes things more complicated and expensive. And you have to make sure you maintain genetic diversity and that new corals can handle warming seas. Otherwise,
you risk making reefs that can't survive the next heat wave.
Exactly. And then there's the question of larger-scale approaches. You've probably seen reports about coral seeding devices and underwater lights that attract zooplankton. They're meant to help stressed corals, but they come with their own hurdles.
So these methods can work together, but scaling up is still tough. Logistics, funding, and actually managing reefs over such huge distances.
Right. Restoration is moving forward, but it can't replace the need to cut emissions, stop overfishing, or reduce pollution. What do you see as the biggest risks that could set back these gains?
For the ozone layer, illegal releases of banned chemicals are still a concern. There have even been some recent spikes, and climate change is shifting stratospheric temperatures, which can swing the ozone hole size from year to year. For reefs, marine heat waves, ocean acidification, and local pollution can easily overwhelm restoration work.
Are there systems in place to catch these issues early?
There are. Atmospheric networks track banned chemicals and satellites monitor the ozone hole. For reefs, managers combine protected marine areas, better water quality, breeding heat-tolerant corals, and technologies like the seed box.
It's really a multi-layered approach, but with these clear signs of progress, both for the ozone layer and coral restoration. Do you think it changes how we tackle other environmental crises?
It shows that when countries coordinate and follow the science, real recovery is possible. Fixing the ozone has cut harmful UV and even cooled the climate a bit. Coral restoration helps biodiversity and the millions of people who depend on reefs. These are models we could learn from.
If we can restore the ozone layer and give reefs another shot, what else might we achieve with global cooperation and persistent science?
That's the big question. These results prove what's possible if we work together, invest in solutions, and keep paying attention.
Today we looked at signs of recovery, from the high atmosphere to the ocean floor, that are happening because of global agreements and scientific advances.
We talked about how the Montreal Protocol paved the way for ozone repair and how coral technologies like the seed box are making a difference, even though there's still work to do.
Can we use these lessons for other urgent challenges? That's for all of us to decide. Thanks for joining us.
This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it for free.